Friends, welcome to Open University. In last video, we are discussing about web shaping circuits. Okay, and we classify web shaping circuits into two types, like linear web shaping and non-linear web shaping. Okay, and under linear web shaping, we give two examples of linear web shaping, that is high pass RC circuit and low pass RC circuit. Okay, and in non-linear web shaping, we give one example, that is clipper. Then we discuss about high pass RC circuit. Okay, we seen its how a high pass circuit looks like, and what is its gain, magnitude of gain, okay, and phase of the gain. Then we see the gain versus frequency plot of high pass RC circuit, and then we see the square wave response of a high pass RC circuit when the time constant RC is small and when the time constant RC is very high. Okay, we seen that for an high pass RC circuit, if the time constant RC is very high, then capacitor will slowly charge and slowly discharge, and the output waveform of such high pass RC circuit having very high time constant, okay, is almost equal to input waveform. So wave shaping is not occurring. Okay, when a high pass RC circuit having high time constant, the output waveform and input waveform are almost same. Okay, and when time constant RC is very small, then output waveform consists of some positive and negative spikes. Okay, means excellent wave shaping. And we say that when time constant RC is very small, your high pass RC circuit converting a square wave signal into spikes, so it behaves like a differentiator. Then we move to the there we discuss about tilt, formula for tilt, percentage tilt, relative tilt. Okay, you need to remember those formulas of tilt. Then we move to the next topic, that is low pass RC circuit. Okay, and I show you how a low pass RC circuit looks like. Okay, this was the diagram of a low pass RC circuit. Okay, this was the input voltage Vi. Okay, and this is R, this is capacitor, and this is the voltage across capacitor. Okay, voltage across the capacitor Vc, and this is the output voltage. This is the output voltage. Then I derived why it is called as low pass RC circuit. I show you. Okay, because it passes low frequencies and rejects high frequency. That's why this circuit is called as low pass RC circuit. Then I derived the formula for gain. Okay, and the gain formula was gain equal to 1 by 1 plus J F by Fh, and the formula for magnitude of the gain was 1 by 1 plus F by Fh whole square under root, where Fh is called as this Fh is called as cutoff frequency or 3 dB frequency. Okay, then phase of the gain was minus tan inverse F by Fh. Okay, and then I plot the characteristics gain versus frequency curve. Okay, this is frequency, this is magnitude of gain. Since it is a low pass RC circuit, it passes low frequencies and rejects high frequencies. This is 1. Okay, this was the gain versus frequency curve of a low pass RC circuit. This is a cutoff frequency Fh. I discussed the low pass RC circuit up to this. Okay, now move to the next discussion under this low pass RC circuit, that is square wave response of a low pass RC circuit. Give the heading square wave response of low pass RC circuit. Okay, means when my input signal is a square wave signal, what will be its output waveform? Okay, we'll see under two cases. When the time constant of the circuit is high and when the time constant of the circuit is low or small. When BI is a square wave signal, what will be its output? The heading square wave response of low pass RC circuit This is input voltage Vi and this is R. This is voltage across capacitor and this is capacitor. The output voltage is V0 and from this you can say V0 equal to Vc. Output voltage is nothing but voltage across capacitor. This is your low pass RC circuit. My interest is to find out the response of this circuit when input is a square wave signal. Let my input be a square wave signal which is varying in between 0 and Vm. Okay, this is 0 volt and the maximum value is Vm. This is the input to this circuit. This is a square wave signal. Okay. Now, at this point t is 0. At this instant t value is 0 and at this instant t equal to t naught by 2 and at this instant t equal to t naught. Now, in case 1, I will consider the time constant of the circuit is RC is very small. Okay, let time constant RC R into C, that is RC is very small. If time constant is very small, that means charging time will be small and discharging time also small. That means capacitor will charge rapidly and also discharge rapidly. That is, capacitor will charge immediately and also discharge immediately. Capacitor will charge and discharge rapidly. That is the meaning of small time constant. Okay, capacitor will very fastly charge and very fastly it will discharge. Okay, let at t equal to 0, what happens? What is the output voltage I want to obtain? Now, at t equal to 0, input voltage is Vm. Okay, input voltage is Vm, and I am assuming capacitor voltage is 0. Initially, I am assuming that there is no voltage across the capacitor. Initially, I am assuming. Okay, I am assuming that voltage across capacitor is 0. So, can you say what is the output voltage? Output voltage is same as capacitor voltage, that is nothing but V0 equal to 0. This is when t equal to 0. Now, let us understand when t is in between 0 to t naught by 2. In this interval, Vm is input voltage is Vm Okay. Now what happens when input is voltage is Vm, then capacitor will charge through the resistor very immediately because time constant is very small, so capacitor will immediately charge to this input voltage. Okay, immediately it will charge in this to the input voltage. So the maximum value of input voltage, capacitor will immediately charge to the maximum value of input voltage when t is in between 0 to t naught by 2. Okay. So capacitor voltage immediately increase. Vc increases rapidly in this interval. V naught also increase rapidly. Okay. In this interval, V naught will also increase rapidly. Now, when t equal to t naught by 2 to t naught, when t is in between t naught by 2 to t naught, in this interval, what happens? Input voltage is 0. Input voltage is 0. Since input voltage is 0, so capacitor will come. Capacitor cannot charge, capacitor will discharge through the resistor. Okay, immediately it will discharge its energy through the resistor. So capacitor voltage will decrease rapidly. It will decrease rapidly in this interval. Sorry, I have to define what is happening at t equal to t naught by 2 first. Okay, before discussing what is happening in t naught by 2 to t naught, let's first discuss what happens at t naught equal to t naught by 2. Okay, when t equal to t naught by 2, what is happening? When t equal to t naught by 2, input voltage is 0. Input voltage is 0. So if input voltage is 0, what is the output voltage? Output voltage is nothing but V naught equal to Vc. V naught equal to Vc. V naught equal to Vc. At this instant, t equal to t naught by 2, output voltage is V naught equal to Vc. This is your voltage across capacitor or output voltage. Now, when t is in between t naught by 2 to t naught, in this interval, input voltage is 0. So capacitor will discharge rapidly. So voltage across capacitor will decrease very rapidly. So I can say output voltage also decrease rapidly and becomes 0 because charging time period and discharging time period is same. So whatever amount capacitor voltage increase in charging interval, the same amount capacitor voltage will reduce in the discharge interval. Okay, because the time period for charging and discharging is same. So in discharging interval, capacitor voltage will reduce from this value to 0. Okay, and this process will continue. I'm sorry. So this process will continue like this. This is your output waveform. The red color is the output voltage waveform. Okay, when the time constant is small. Write down these things and plot the input output waveform. And since the output waveform is almost similar to the input waveform, so I can say that wave shaping is not occurring. Okay, because output waveform and input waveform are almost same, so I can say that wave shaping is not happening here. Okay, when the time constant of the low pass RC circuit is very small. Okay, so write down, if time constant RC is very small, then the output waveform will be almost similar to the input waveform. And hence wave shaping cannot occur. Next point, output waveform has smooth rise and smooth fall. Okay, smooth rise and smooth fall. See, write down one point, performance of low pass RC circuit is described in terms of rise time and fall time. What is rise time? Rise time is the amount of time taken by the response to reach to 10% of the maximum output. This is your 10% of the maximum output, or to get, it is the time taken by the circuit to reach to, it is the time taken by the response to reach to 10% of the output to 90% of the output. 10% to 90% output reach from 10% to 90% of the output. This interval of time is called as rise time. So right, give the heading rise time. Rise time TR. Okay, what is rise time? It is the time taken by the output or response to reach from 10% to 90%. Okay, that interval of time is called as rise time. So this is what is rise time. Then what is fall time? It is the time taken by the output or response to decrease from 90% to 10%. To decrease from 90% to 10%, whatever time taken by the output is called as fall time. So give the heading rise time. What is called as rise time? Give the heading rise time. Do not do it with TR. I said that performance of low pass RC circuit is described in terms of rise time and fall time. So first give the what is called rise time. Write down, it is the time taken by the response. It is the time taken by the response or output waveform to increase from 10% to 90%. To increase from 10% to 90%. Okay, full stop. Then give the heading fall time. What is called as fall time? You do not with it with TF. What is fall time? It is the time taken by the output waveform to decrease from 90% to 10%. It is the time taken by the output waveform to decrease from 90% to 10%. Whatever time is taken by the output to decrease from 90% of the output to 10% of the output, that interval of time is called as fall time. Okay. Now we'll calculate the formula for rise time. Okay, and here whatever amount of time taken from 10% to reach 90% output, the same time we will also take from to decrease from 90% to 10%. So that means rise time is same as hold time. So we will first derive the formula for rise time. Okay, so we give the heading calculation of rise time. Give the heading under this low pass RC circuit, calculation of rise time. Calculation of rise time TR. Okay, now when t is in between 0 to t naught by 2, in this interval what happens? In this interval capacitor voltage will increase. Okay, capacitor will charge, and when capacitor charges, we can represent the voltage across capacitor as, when capacitor charges, its equation is Vc equal to Vm into 1 minus e power minus t by Rc. This is the expression of a capacitor when it is charges. Okay, when capacitor is charging, its expression, its voltage across capacitor is in this way. You can write. Okay, and here Vc is nothing but V naught. So V naught equal to Vc. When capacitor charges, we can represent the charging equation of the capacitor in this way: Vm into 1 minus e power minus t by Rc. Okay, let when the voltage across capacitor Vc is 10% of the maximum value, let at this instant time t is t1. At this instant time t is t1, and when the voltage across capacitor reaches 90% of the maximum value, let at that instant time is t2. Then rise time will be t2 minus t1. So I will calculate what is t2 and what is t1. Then I will subtract t2 minus t1, that will to get rise time, because rise time is this interval of time from t1 to t2 is called as rise time. Okay, so at t equal to t1, what is the output voltage? V naught is 10% of Vm. V naught is 10% of Vm, of maximum value. That is nothing but 0.1 times Vm. At this point, output voltage V naught is 0.1 times Vm. So I can replace this equation with 0.1 times Vm equal to Vm into 1 minus e power minus t equal to t1 by Rc. You can cancel Vm and Vm. Now bring e power minus t1 by Rc to this side, then 0.1 to this side, it will be 1 minus 0.1, that will be 0.9. If you take logarithm on both sides, okay, then it will be minus t1 by Rc equal to natural log 0.9. Okay, like natural log of 0.9. Then this will be minus t1 by, what will be log t1 by minus t1 by Rc equal to, what will be log 0.9? Log 0.9 will be minus 0.1, minus 0.1. Then minus minus cancel. Okay, then t1 will be 0.1 RC. T1 will be 0.1 RC. Let this is equation 1. Similarly, at T equal to T2, what is the output voltage? At T equal to T2, output voltage is 90% of maximum value of output, that is 0.9 times Vm. 0.9 times Vm. If you substitute this value, then 0.9 times Vm equal to Vm into 1 minus e power minus t is replaced with T2 by RC. Then Vm will be cancelled. Then e power minus T2 by RC will be equal to 1 minus 0.9, that is 0.1. Then minus T2 by RC, if you take logarithm, then it will be log 0.1, which will be minus 2.3, then minus will be cancelled, then T2 will be 2.3 times RC. This is equation 2. And subtract equation 2 from equation 1 to get rise time. Then the equation of your rise time you can write here. Right, subtract equation 2 from 1, or subtract equation 1 from 2. Subtract equation 1 from equation 2. Subtract equation 1 from 2. If you subtract this in T2 minus T1, then rise time will be T2 minus T1 equal to 2.3 times RC minus 0.1 times RC. It will be 2.2 times RC. This is the formula of rise time, that is 2.2 times RC. So the formula for rise time is 2.2 times RC. And this is also equal to fall time, because rise time is same as fall time. So I can write rise time equal to fall time equal to 2.2 times RC. You need to remember the formula for rise time and fall time. Okay. So the formula for rise time is 2.2 times RC. Now divide with 2 pi and multiply with 2 pi. Okay, then what happens? In the discussion of low pass RC circuit, I defined the formula for FH. FH was 1 by 2 pi RC. So then 2 pi RC will be 1 by FH. Okay, 2 pi RC will be 1 by, this value will be 1 by FH. And this value, if you calculate, it will be 0.35. So it will be 0.35. Then this will be, then the formula for rise time will be 0.35 by FH. The formula for rise time is also 0.35 by FH. Fall time is also equal to fall time. Let's move to the next case when time constant is very high. Move to the case 2. Square wave response of a low pass RC circuit when time constant is very high. Okay, let this is a square wave signal which is varying from 0 to Vm, 0 volt to Vm, and at this point t is 0, at this point t is t naught by 2, and at this point t equal to t naught. Okay, this is your low pass RC circuit. This is the voltage across capacitor. This is your input voltage. This is resistance R, and this is your output voltage V naught, and V naught equal to Vc. Now move to the case 2. Let the time constant RC be very high. Let time constant R into C be very high. If time constant is very high, so capacitor will charge slowly and discharge slowly. That is, capacitor will charge and discharge slowly. Okay, slowly it will charge and slowly it is discharge. Now in this interval, what will happen? Capacitor when t is in between 0 to t naught by 2, okay, capacitor will charge, slowly it will charge, and in this interval input is 0, so capacitor will discharge, okay, very slowly. So I will show you the output waveform directly, and the output waveform will be something like this. Okay, this is the output waveform. I am showing you linear way of increasing the capacitor voltage. When capacitor charges, it will charge exponentially. The voltage across capacitor will increase exponentially and also decrease exponentially. But I am showing you the capacitor voltage is increasing linearly. I can approximate to linear because time constant is very high. So capacitor will, when time constant is very high, so capacitor voltage will very slowly it will increase, and also very slowly it will decrease. That slow increase and slow decrease I am showing as linear increase. I can show it this way also. Capacitor voltage will increase very slowly and also decrease very slowly. I can show you some like this. Okay. Capacitor voltage will slowly increase because time constant is very high. So slowly the capacitor voltage will increase like this. Very slowly it will increase. It will increase by little amount, and also it will decrease slowly. Okay. Slowly capacitor voltage will decrease. Okay. This kind of output will be obtained. Okay. And since the time constant is very high, so capacitor voltage will increase very slowly. I am showing this increase in capacitor voltage approximately to a linear increase. Okay, instead of showing exponential increase, I am showing you linearly increasing and linearly decreasing. Write down this point. Since time constant is very high, capacitor charges and discharges slowly. Hence V naught or Vc, increases slowly, increases and decreases slowly. Hence V naught or Vc increases and decreases slowly. Next point, this slow increase and slow decrease in output voltage can be approximated to linear increase and linear decrease. Approximated to linear increase and linear decrease. This is the approximate graph. Okay, but actually capacitor voltage will increase and decrease exponentially, but since time constant is very high, so capacitor voltage will increase slowly and decrease slowly. That increase in capacitor voltage and decrease in capacitor voltage I am showing as approximated graph as linear increase and linear decrease. Okay, now what is the DC value of the input waveform? This is your input waveform. The DC value is nothing but this value. This is your DC value of the input signal. Okay, this is the DC value. And what is the DC value? Vm by 2. Average value of the input signal is Vm by 2. Write down this point. Input waveform has a DC value Vm by 2. Input waveform has DC value Vm by 2. And this is also the average value of the output waveform. Your output waveform is almost like a triangular waveform. And if you calculate the average value of a triangular waveform, you will get Vm by 2. Okay, average value of a triangular waveform, if you calculate, it will become a Vm by 2. So this is the average value of input voltage, also the average value of the output voltage. Write down. This is called a steady state output. Steady state output voltage waveform. Okay, write down. When capacitor reaches steady state, DC voltage across capacitor becomes Vm by 2. DC voltage across capacitor becomes Vm by 2. DC voltage across capacitor means output voltage. DC voltage of output waveform becomes Vm by 2. Okay. DC voltage across capacitor becomes Vm by 2. Full stop. Hence output waveform at steady state will have a DC voltage of Vm by 2. So, okay, the average value of output waveform and input waveform are same. So, when time constant RC is very high, low pass RC circuit converts a square wave signal into triangular waveform. Okay, that means it behaves like a integrator. Okay, high pass RC circuit behaves like a differentiator, but low pass RC circuit behaving like a integrator when time constant is very high. Write down this point. If time constant RC is very high, then low pass RC circuit converts a square wave signal into triangular waveform. Thus, a low pass RC circuit converts a square wave signal into triangular waveform. Okay, full stop. Thus, it behaves like a integrator, or it performs excellent wave shaping. So that means excellent wave shaping is happening. Next, move to the next kind of wave shaping circuit, that is non-linear wave shaping circuit. Whose example is a clipper. So give the heading clipper, which is basically a non-linear wave shaping circuit, and a clipper is formed using diode, which is a non-linear element. Okay, so give the heading clipper. Give the heading clipper. What is a clipper? It is basically a non-linear wave shaping circuit which can cut or remove the unwanted portion of a signal. So it is a non-linear wave shaping circuit which can cut or remove the unwanted portion of a signal. Okay, the unwanted portion of a signal. So write down a point on this clipper. It is a non-linear wave shaping circuit. It is a non-linear wave shaping circuit which can cut or remove the unwanted portion of a waveform or signal. It can remove the unwanted portion, or it can reduce the unwanted portion of a signal or waveform. Then there is two application of this clipper. Okay, the first application is it is used to reduce the amplitude of a signal. Okay, that's why it is also called as amplitude limiter, also called as amplitude limiter. So give the heading application of clipper. Applications of clipper. The first application is it is used to limit the amplitude of a signal. It is used to remove the amplitude of a signal. Write down first application. It is used to remove the amplitude of a signal. Okay, full stop. Hence, write down, hence it is called as amplitude limiter. Suppose you have a signal like this. Okay, if you have a signal which is varying from minus 6 volt to plus 12 volt, which is a square wave signal, if you give to a clipper, if you apply this signal to a clipper, then the output of the clipper will be somewhere between minus 2 volt to 4 volt. Okay, minus 2 volt to 4 volt. The input was from minus 6 volt to 12 volt. Okay, what was the amplitude? This was the amplitude. Okay, this is the amplitude of the signal. Now it is reduced to 4 volt. So a clipper can limit the amplitude of a signal. Hence it is called as amplitude limiter. It is limiting the amplitude of the signal. It is reducing the amplitude of the signal. Hence it is called as amplitude limiter. So this is one of the application of clipper. The second application of clipper is it is used to remove the noise from pulse waveform in digital communication. Okay, see, in digital communication we transmit signals in the form of pulses. Okay, like this, in terms of rectangular pulses like this. When you transmit signals in the form of 0 and 1 in digital communication, we represent these binary digits with rectangular pulses like this. Then when you transmit these signals will be affected in the noise in the channel, and after affecting through the noise, okay, by the noise in the channel, the output will be something like this. Okay, its amplitude will be affected. Its amplitude will be affected. Okay, when this signal transmitted through the channel, in the channel noise will hamper this signal. Okay, in the channel you will get this type of signal. Okay, this is a noise interference signal. Now if we pass this signal to a clipper, then what will it will remove this effect of noise from the signal. Okay, so the output of the clipper will be something like this. Okay, 1 0 1 like this. So basically clipper is removing the noise. Okay, that's why the second application of a clipper is to remove the noise in digital communication. Okay, so write down second point. Clipper is to remove noise from pulse waveform in digital communication. Clipper is used to remove noise from pulse waveform, okay, in digital communication. These are the two applications of clipper. One is to limit the amplitude of a signal, and second one is to remove noise from pulse waveform in digital communication. So these are the two applications of clipper. Then there are two types of clipper. We'll classify clipper as positive clipper and negative clipper. We'll do classifications of clipper. There are two types of clipper. One is clipper is of two types. One is called as Sand clipper and another is called as series clipper. Sand clipper means output is taken in shunt with the diode. Okay, output V0 is taken in shunt or parallel with diode. Here output is taken in series with the diode. V0 is taken in series with the diode. Is taken in series with diode. So there are two types of clipper. One is shunt clipper and another one is series clipper. We'll first read shunt clipper and then we'll talk about series clipper. This shunt clipper is of two types. One is called as positive clipper. Shunt clipper is of two types. One is positive clipper and negative clipper. Similarly, series clipper is also two types. One is shunt clipper, one is positive clipper and negative clipper. We'll talk about both. Okay. So first, give the heading shunt clipper. Shunt clipper. Under this shunt clipper, give the heading positive clipper or peak clipper. Give the heading positive clipper or peak clipper. Peak or positive clipper. This is your input voltage waveform, which is basically a sinusoidal signal. This is your reference voltage VR, and this is the output voltage V0. Since output is taken in shunt with the diode, it is called as shunt clipper. Okay, and it is basically a positive clipper. So write down one point. What is positive clipper? Write down one point. It removes peak clipper or positive clipper. Write down. It removes that part of the input waveform. It removes that part of the input waveform which lies above the reference voltage. Which lies above the reference voltage. Above the reference voltage. This is called as VR. Okay, we show VR like this, and this VR can be positive, negative, or even zero. Okay, if this is plus VR, then this will be minus VR. We know that. this will be minus VR. Okay. VR can be, VR is called as reference voltage, and it can be 0, it can be positive, it can be negative. Now we'll understand its operation. Okay. This is R, okay, and the formula to calculate R is R equal to RF into RR. R equal to RF into RR, or RF is the forward resistance of the diode and RR is the reverse resistance of the diode. Forward resistance of diode, and RR is called as reverse resistance. Write down one point. In a clipper circuit, comma, a resistor R should not be too large or too small. A resistor R should not be too large or too small. Full stop. This R should be in kilo ohm. R should be in kilo ohm. R should be in kilo ohm. For example, if you give one example, a diode has forward resistance RF is given to be 20 ohm. RF is given to be 20 ohm, and reverse resistance RR is given to be 5 mega ohm. 5 mega ohm. Then what will be the value of R, which is under root of 20 into 5 into 10 power 6. If you will calculate this value, then it will be 10 kilo ohm. So this R is always in kilo ohm. It should not be too small, it should not be too large also. Now let's understand the operation of the clipper, this peak clipper. I said that it will remove that part of the signal which lies above the reference voltage. Okay, which lies above the reference voltage. Let's understand the circuit operation. Now, if input voltage is greater than the reference voltage, now in order to understand the circuit, first assume that initially you assume your diode is in open circuited. Okay, to know whether diode is in forward biased or reverse biased, you first make the diode open circuited. Okay, in order to understand whether the diode is in reverse biased or forward biased, you first open circuit the diode. Okay, now what is the voltage available at this point? Vi. Okay, what is the voltage available at this point? Vi. If this Vi is greater than VR, this is VR. If Vi is greater than VR, then what will happen to your diode? Diode will be forward biased. Okay, if Vi is greater than VR, your diode will be forward biased. So if it is an ideal diode, it will be replaced with short circuit. Okay, so this will be okay. Then what will be output voltage? Output voltage equal to VR. Similarly, if you consider input voltage is less than, if input voltage Vi is less than VR, if input voltage is less than VR, what will happen to your diode? Diode will be replaced with, diode will become reverse biased, so it will be replaced with open circuited. Okay, when input voltage is less than VR, diode will be reverse biased, so it will be replaced with open circuit. Okay, so no current will pass, so entire input voltage will appear across the output. So your output voltage equal to input voltage. Output voltage will be equal to input voltage. Now if VA is a sinusoidal signal like this, okay, if this is your VA and let VR be a positive voltage, okay, so I am giving VR some positive value. If VR is positive like this, it is saying that when input voltage is greater than VR, when input voltage exceeding VR, V not equal to VR, and when input voltage is less than VR, in this interval input voltage is less than VR, here also input voltage is less than VR, and in this interval input voltage is greater than VR. When input voltage is less than VR, when input voltage is less than VR, V not equal to VA. Okay, V not equal to VI. And when input voltage is greater than VR, means in this period V not equal to VR. V not equal to VR. This is your VR. So this. And when input voltage is less than VR, V not equal to VA. In this period also input voltage is less than the VR. This will be the output waveform. Okay, when input voltage is exceeding the reference voltage, when input voltage is exceeding the reference voltage, V not equal to VR, and when input voltage is less than VR, output voltage equal to input voltage. Okay, since this circuit is removing that part of the signal which lies above the reference voltage, okay, the output will be only this red color. That means it is removing this portion of the graph. Okay, it is cutting the above that portion of the graph which lies above the reference voltage. So it is, since it is removing the peak reference voltage above the reference voltage, it is called as peak clipper. Okay, what is peak clipper? It removes that part of the signal which lies above the reference voltage. That is called as peak clipper. Okay, so this circuit will remove that portion of the graph which lies above the reference voltage. So this is the output waveform. Okay, now this is the case when VR is positive value. If VR is, if your VR is 0 value and if VR is negative value, what will be the output waveform? See, this is your input waveform. Okay, and let now reference voltage VR is 0. This is your VR equal to 0 volt. Okay, when VR equal to 0 volt, again the output waveform will be like this. When input voltage is greater than reference voltage, output voltage equal to VR, and what is the VR value is 0 here. And when input voltage is less than VR, output voltage equal to VA. This will be the output waveform. When reference voltage is 0 volt, that means since it is a positive clipper, it will remove that portion of the graph which lies above the reference voltage. Okay, here reference voltage was 0 volt, so this was the output waveform. The red color is the output waveform when reference voltage is 0. If the reference voltage is negative, then what will be the output waveform? This is your input voltage waveform. Okay, input voltage waveform, and let here VR is negative. VR value is some minus 2 volt or some negative value. If this is your VR, then the output waveform will be something like this. It will remove that part of the signal which lies above the reference voltage. Okay, above the reference voltage, it will remove those portion of the graph. This is when VR is positive, this is when VR is 0, and this is the output waveform when VR is negative. Next, we will draw the transfer characteristics. Okay, give the heading transfer characteristics. Give the heading transfer characteristics. Transfer characteristics. What is transfer characteristics? It is basically the graph between the output voltage and input voltage. Okay, let this axis is input voltage and this is your output voltage. Write down, it is a plot of output voltage versus input voltage. It is a plot of output voltage versus input voltage. Now, I will plot the characteristics, transfer characteristics when VR is positive. On this side, let VR is positive. This is your VR. Now, when input voltage is greater than VR, what was the output voltage? V not equal to VR. Output voltage V not equal to VR. When input voltage is greater than VR, output voltage was VR. Okay, and when input voltage is less than VR, in this period, when input voltage is less than VR, output voltage equal to Vi. Then what will the output waveform? This will be the output waveform. This is called as transfer characteristics. When input voltage is greater than VR, output voltage of your positive clipper or peak clipper is VR, and when input voltage is less than VR, V naught was Vi. So how can I plot the curve of when V naught equal to Vi? Like a straight line. Okay, this is the case when VR is positive. If VR is 0 and if VR is negative, what will be the output transfer characteristics curve? This is your input voltage and this is the output voltage. Now I am assuming the reference voltage is here, VR equal to 0 volt. VR is 0. Okay, now when input voltage is greater than VR, this is your VR. When input voltage is greater than VR, V not equal to VR, that is 0. Okay, and when input voltage is less than VR, V naught will be equal to Vi. This is the transfer characteristics when reference voltage is 0. Let's plot the transfer characteristics when VR is negative. This is your VR. Okay, VR, and here is when VR is negative. When input voltage is greater than VR, V not equal to VR. V not equal to VR, what is VR? VR is negative, so it will be like this. And when input voltage is less than VR, V not equal to Vi. The characteristics will be like this. So thank you. In the next video, we will discuss negative clipper and we will do some questions on this topic. So thank you.